This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Sunday. This is the Baltimore Orioles POSTCAST. As always, we stream this show live to YouTube immediately after every Baltimore Orioles game, and it's available on demand wherever you get your podcasts for free. The final score on this Sunday, the Baltimore Orioles 3 and the Houston Astros 2. Welcome in, one and all, O's fans, fans for the first time, fans, baseball in general. Go ahead, leave a comment down, your thoughts on the game. Let me know your player of the game if you watched the game alongside me. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead, like, subscribe. We have daily Orioles content here on Locked On Orioles. Connor Newcomb 5 days a week, and me after every game. It's been a fun run. The O's stave off the Astros in the series finale. They avoid a 4-game sweep, snap the 3-game losing streak, and improve to 19-19 in one-run games. It's the 60th win for the O's this season, and they're 10 games under 500. The subject of discussion, first and foremost, Trevor Rogers, the best pitcher in baseball.
This is what you'll be talking about.
It's just the facts. Trevor Rogers is the best pitcher in baseball. Not the guy in Pittsburgh, not the guy in Detroit. Trevor Rogers, through 13 starts this season, has been the best pitcher in that stretch in Orioles history, and the numbers back it up. And we'll get to those in a second. If you agree with me, go ahead, type down yes in the chat. If you think, Luke, you might be a little bit mistaken here, you can go ahead and say no. I'm up for a nice debate in the comment section. The news dump on Friday was that the Orioles had locked up their catching prospect, future first baseman DH catcher hybrid type, Samuel Basallo. Had just turned 21 years old, and he got an 8-year extension with the possibility for a 9th year. It's a medium risk, super high reward move. If Samuel Basallo reaches his potential and becomes a perennial MVP candidate backstop that the O's think he can be when they signed him out of the Dominican Republic, then this is a steal of the decade for the O's. If he leads them into deep postseason runs, it's a win. And if it's not the way you want it to be, if it doesn't pan out, if he doesn't quite find his swing at the plate, then it'll be a write-off for owner David Rubenstein. And he said as much this weekend, saying that he was committed to doing more of these deals as soon as we can. Next up, Trevor Rogers. Lock him up now. Best pitcher in baseball. And I'm just going to go ahead and preface this by saying Trevor had no feel for his breaking balls today. Was relying heavily on his fastball, more than 50% of the time. The velocity was down on his fastball. The control wasn't there. And yet, he was able to hold the Astros to just 1 run through 7 innings. You got to judge a man by what he does in times of adversity, when everything's working against him. That's what some of the great minds in our country have said. It's not like the O's are giving him 10 runs of support every night. It's not like he had his best command and control today. He ties a season high with 3 walks. However, he goes 6 innings in his 9th consecutive start. The best pitcher in Major League Baseball. Started off with some trouble on the base pass there. Jeremy Pena singles on the first pitch to left to lead off the game. Go ahead and steals third base with 2 outs. You got a runner there on the corners. Trevor Rogers then strikes out former Oriole Christian Walker on a fastball high at 93 to end the inning. 12 pitches and 9 strikes for Trevor. His ERA in the first inning this season, a pristine 0.00. Second inning was nails. Vintage Trevor Rogers strikes out Yainer Diaz on 3 pitches, carving him up on a fastball at 92. Gets Ramon Urias, our old friend, to ground out to short, and Mauricio Dubon flying out on the first pitch sinker he sees. So a 7-pitch frame for Rogers to get him back in this. Really good stuff from him. The Orioles giving Rogers a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Runs into some trouble there in the third, and this is where I say the command was a little bit lacking. Walks Cam Smith on 4 pitches. Smith then steals second base. Those are the first 2 bags swiped against Trevor Rogers this season. Chas McCormick strikes out, and then With the runner in scoring position, Jeremy Pena hits a single to center field, sinker off the plate that he had to go and get. Not a bad pitch by any stretch of the imagination, but the game is tied at 1. Mechanics are off for Rogers. He walks Carlos Correa and then gets him over on a balk. Disengages 3 times with Jose Altuve at the plate. Gets Altuve to strike out on a change, and then Christian Walker flying out to right. Jeremiah Jackson snagging it on a first pitch fastball. Ran into some trouble in the 4th and the 6th, but still able to mitigate damage. No runs allowed in those frames. A huge shutdown inning there in the 5th, getting Pena to strike out on 3 pitches. The change low and away, putting him away. Altuve flying out to Colton Cowser in center field. And then Walker blasting one to the wall, a 2-0 sinker over the heart of the plate, 2-0 count. And Cowser able to grab it right before he brushes against the wall. A huge shutdown inning. Probably most impressive for Trevor, the 7th. Getting Cam Smith looking on a 2-seamer frozen on a middle pitch that looked juicy and ready to hit into the gap. Something about the fastball Ben McDonald has said on the Masson broadcast is invisible, and that they're just not recognizing out of his hand. And of course, he drops it behind his back when he's going into his stretch and about to fire. There's something deceptive about the delivery here that's really throwing these hitters for a loop. Then he gets Chas McCormick to pop out to Luis Vasquez at second base, and then 9th strikeout today. Jeremy Pena looking on 3 pitches. The slider is the one that does him in. The final line on Trevor Rogers: 7 innings, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, and 5 hits. That 1 run allowed just has the ERA sitting pretty at 140. It's a 7th win of the season. Of course, with Rogers sitting after the 7th inning, you got some perspective here. How absolutely huge this run has been. 11 straight starts of 2 runs or fewer allowed. Never done before as an Oriole. Not Jim Palmer, not Milt Pappas, not Hoyt Wilhelm, not Mike Messina, none of these people. And through his first 13 starts of the season, his 140 ERA is better than that of Palmer's in 1975, which was 155, and Hoyt Wilhelm, 150 in 1959. With Rogers on the bench and 2 frames to go, it's up to the Orioles' makeshift bullpen to try to put this game away, and that is where things got a little dicey.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Right-hander Rico Garcia on kind of a mixed bag for him this season, and starts out inauspiciously. Carlos Correa singling through the left side on a 2-0 fastball. Altuve flying out to Dylan Beavers in left field, and Correa tagging and advancing to second base, a really heads-up base running play by the former World Series champion. And then Christian Walker hitting a liner in and out of Gunnar Henderson's glove there at shortstop, headed towards center field. Gunnar tries to corral it, then spikes the ball in the dirt. Ryan Mountcastle can't dig it up. There's a juicy 1-1 fastball at 95 over the plate, and you got some trouble now with a runner in scoring position there, and then Walker at first. Yainer Diaz hits a sharp grounder to Gunnar again. Him making the play on the backhand, trying to throw to Luis Vasquez for a forced out at second. Not to be. Everyone is safe. The bases are loaded with only 1 out, and that is when Keegan Aiken comes on and shuts that whole thing down. Maybe the best, most clutch outing we've seen from Keegan Aiken all season. Had some bumps along the way. He has not been infallible by any stretch of the imagination. Victor Caratini pinch hitting for Ramon Urias. Basically burning a bench player at this point. First pitch changeup. He lofts to left field. A sacrifice fly. Beavers makes the smart throw to the cutoff man. A run scores. It's a 3-2 game for Mauricio Dubon. Dubon 2-2, sees a changeup, lines it right at Beavers. Crisis averted. The O's entered the 9th 57-1 when leading after 8 innings this season. Keegan Aiken strikes out the side using a dastardly changeup. Cam Smith on a change low. McCormick also low and away. And Jeremy Pena frozen. That ball a little bit outside and low. Alex Jackson with a great frame job to end this game in style. Final score 3-2. Coming up, some love for folks on the offensive side of the ball. A first career home run that came at a huge point in the game. A nice insurance run. a hit streak that is noteworthy, and we'll look ahead to the Boston series. The Bo Sox in for 4 games and the specter of Kyle Bradish awaiting. It's coming up after the break. Locked on Orioles. Stick with us. No ad copy today. That was given to me. So let's talk 5-Hour Energy. Transfusion flavor, out of this world. Grape ginger lime. There's no alcohol, which, great. Today is, I think, 600 days without alcohol for me. I can't drink alcohol. Not that I don't want to. Well, I also don't want to. But transfusion's amazing, and so is 5-Hour Energy. If you're on the golf course, you got the last days of East Coast summer to really get in on the action. Golf's all about good times with good people and good flavors. The grape ginger lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the beverage cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the USA. Sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? But you can tee up that trip by going to 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. Show is also brought to you by FanDuel. There's a holiday coming up, folks. August 26th. It's not just that Post Malone album. It's FanDuel Futures Day. Brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week 1 even kicks off, Commanders, Ravens, Beltway Bowl, hopefully it's not like the preseason game, this is your moment. Shiloh Sanders, MVP. He's got some fight in him. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Trevor J. Daniel Rogers is our player of the game. And I know I sound like a broken record. Dude is just fire. He's nails. This guy deserves a pretty penny in the offseason. Why wait? Why have him go into a contract season when the staff loves him, the teammates love him, Samuel Basallo following him around in Boston like a puppy, glued to his hips? And they love each other. That's a battery match made in heaven. Extend Trevor Rogers. He's the best pitcher in baseball. Best pitcher in baseball. A big insurance run coming bottom 7 with 2 outs. Luis Vasquez, 25 years old, former Cubs legend, known for his glove first. It's a 1-1 sweeper hanging up from left-hander John Rooney. Not the radio guy. Major league debut for John Rooney. Home run into the left center field bullpen. Makes it a 3-1 game, and just getting that insurance, getting that boost of power out of the 9th spot is huge. It's been a weekend of firsts. On the plus side, Jeremiah Jackson hitting his first major league home run last night. Luis Vasquez doing it today. Dylan Beavers has had himself a heck of a first few series in the major leagues. Today, get this, the first game that he didn't reach base in his career. 7 straight games to open his career, getting on base and being a machine there in the bottom of the order. And of course, the bottom of the first is where the Orioles had right-hander Spencer Arrighetti on the ropes. Colton Cowser works an 8-pitch at-bat out of the leadoff spot to open this game. Singles to left field on a cutter. Sprays it the other way. Jackson Holliday getting a day off. We learned that from Masson's Rock Cabato, who had a very unfortunate typo in his tweet. Amazing. Unfortunately, Jeremiah Jackson grounds out into a 5-4-3 double play, so the bases are empty for Gunnar Henderson. 1-0 count against Arrighetti. Just pounces on a curveball, hanging out over the end of the plate outside. He goes out and gets it into right field, over the fence, and a 1-0 ball game. 16-game on-base streak for Gunnar. Mountie then gets a base hit off of the glove of Carlos Correa at third base, extending his hit streak to 10 games. Samuel Basallo also hitting a 1-2 changeup into right field for a base hit. However, that started a streak of 15 batters in a row retired by Arrighetti. 15 Orioles sat down, a 27 first pitch frame where the Orioles had him dead to rights. Dylan Beavers lining out to second base to end the inning. And that was that until the sixth. 2 outs, Gunnar Henderson, first pitch changeup, not wasting any time, hits a single to center field. Caught a lot of the plate there. He then steals on a 3-1 pitch, steals second for his 18th steal of the year, and then a called strike for 3-2. He swipes third base against Yainer Diaz and company. Ryan Mountcastle then, full count, gets a sinker inside outs it into right field for a base hit, his second of the day, and clutch base hit, RBI, 2-1 ball game. The O's carry on. What an exciting time. We got a comment here, which I think Jeff Molnar is great. Alex Jackson doing a quietly good job behind the dish. The O's will have a hard time sneaking him back to AAA. Unless they want to carry 3 catchers in 2026, which we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. The O's welcome in the Boston Red Sox for a 4-game series. Could be a lot of fun. Not entirely sure who all the starters are going to be. They haven't been announced yet. However, we know tomorrow it's Tomo Sagano. Tomoyuki Sagano has been, other than Trevor Rogers, a mainstay in this rotation. Think of the guys who haven't hit the IL this year, who have been on the roster the entire year. Jackson Holliday, Dean Kramer, Tomo Sagano. I know Tomo left his first start early there in Toronto back at the end of March. However, he's pitching to a 3.97 ERA, 10-5 record. Red Sox have not yet announced their starter. Tuesday at Boston, Tomo went 5 innings, gave up 1 run that was unearned, no walks to 3 strikeouts in that 11-inning extra innings win for the O's. Samuel Basallo with the RBI ground out in the 4-3 final score. That's a first pitch time of 6:35 on MASN. And the rumblings from multiple local reporters is that Kyle Bradish will be given the bump on Tuesday. He is done with his rehab, back from Tommy John surgery. So September, you'll see him tuning up, gearing up for 2026. Perhaps Tyler Wells in the mix. Chase McDermott could see a look out of the bullpen as the O's try to reconfigure that gaggle of misfits on the fly. Try to figure out how they can compete and turn this around for 2026. You've got ideas. I've got ideas. We'll leave it at that. Trevor Rogers is our player of the game, earns his 7th win of the year. The final score, the Baltimore Orioles 3 and the Houston Astros 2. Good night. Stay safe. I'll see you right back here tomorrow night.